And Boss are going to have to try to crack their way in, but we'll get to Nuke here as we finally get to load on in. And we'll see who is starting on the CT side, who is starting on the T side. Both teams split pistols as well, Nate. Both teams won the T side pistol. And we'll see if that trend continues. And it's a mirrored start to what we saw.
It is, but CT side tends to be more so favored on this map. I'd say that actually depends on the team. You mentioned that Boss might be T-sided, but their stats are rather abysmal both sides regardless. Kit smoke this time for Slight, not Freshy. And 2 sets of utility, once more the exact same for Landon and Tatazine. They throw delayed A-site utility. They're going to come out door. 4 players in a line. Down the vents they're going to try to go. Slight, though, finds the first onto W1. I'm probably going to get planted here shortly, unless Cryptic has something to say from above. Freshy as well as distracting from ramp, and this is a perfect play from Cryptic. 1, 2, not quite the third, but he's still kicking. Moth and Sarah finally puts him down, but Moth can't find more than that. Landon, the last one alive. He held, I believe, for the ramp flank, or the trophy flank. He's now up top site with no bomb, and the numbers vastly against him in a 1v3.
Yeah, he got one, but it's going to be very difficult to get more than one. No bomb, no armor, no utility. They kind of know his general vicinity as well. Not much opportunity here for Laser. Unless Landon pulls off an incredible 1 versus 3. He needs 3 quick headshots. The spacing from Boss is pretty decent for this as well. It's all going to come down to timing. Glass is broken. Now Boss don't need to peek. They know exactly what's up. They can buy time. It's on their side. Landon has to fight. It's exactly what Boss are doing. They're not fighting. They're not peeking. They're just going to go jiggle and buy more and more time. Freshy's just trying to play this time. There's the trade from Darty. And Boss will secure the pistol round. Very confident. Great double kill there from Cryptic to play the time, not get cleared, deny the plant first and foremost, because that's the most important part of that T-side pistol is getting the bomb down and then following up with the second kill and buying time on that third, which he eventually fell to. Great stuff from the in-game leader. Good start from him and from Boss.
Very solid start from Boss. I like the setup. Playing top of catwalk / scaffolding over on B. Running that bomb plant as well, forcing them onto a Glock round. It means that SMGs, the MP9s for Darty, Slight, and Fruit Cup can really build up some wallet quickly. It's not going to be those players tested. Instead, it's going to be Freshy at ramp. He has a FAMAS. He's playing rather passive. Makes sense when you're going up against a potential pistol stack. He'll just get one and fall away wisely while Slight takes up the slack. 1 secured, 2 more secured for Freshy. Pulling out the USP. He gets a 4th. Cryptic puts down Tatazine. Slight, the only casualty in the round, couldn't quite get the MP9 under control. Still, a clean, relatively clean, not perfect round for Boss as we enter the rifle round, round number 3.
First rifle round here for Laser. It's a somewhat bonus round for Boss, but not really, considering Freshy and Slight are down around $900 and $600 a piece. Good amount of utility for Boss to work with, and the MP9s are not necessarily bad to have on Nuke. There's plenty of short-range angles those SMGs can do significant damage from. The lack of utility also a bit of a concern for Laser as they move their way towards ramp with the smoke outside for Tatazine to cross behind the smoke wall. The classic double smokes for the secret run. This is your first time watching Nuke. You'll see that pretty much every single time you watch this map. Without fail. Tatazine demolished by Cryptic. Gets the dink and then the follow-up spray. Upgrades to an AK. Slight's going to hear a little bit maybe towards B. I don't think he'll hear much, though, if anything. Cryptic and Freshy, double and single door. Waiting to just hold down when they go for the plant. And Laser waffling about. Being very slow, as we saw on Ancient, too. Something that I think Boss are buying into and reading very well, and that this team, when they face any sort of adversity, or even when they're just in the mid-round on the T side, go so slow and waffle back and forth between both sites. It's very easy to just hold your line and wait for Laser to make a play. And how do they not hear Cryptic burning alive? He doesn't get the kill, but that's so much information gained. Freshy's still unrevealed as well. Bomb is planted Astralis, but there's so much time for the rotations to come through. All that information gained, and the CTs are already ready for the retake.
Yes, they are. 3 coming into the back calls and one coming in ramp. Darty, the MP9, you mentioned up close and personal, it can find damage. Found the first on the Moth. There'll be one up top. Silo trying to find a kill to even things up, finds one. This player backside as well fares no better, and Landon in the meanwhile dropped Darty. It's Slight, the Operon of Hamas. He found the first back of sight, but now he has two more to deal with. Not enough time to do so. He's going to fall back towards ramp, hold his ground, wait for the bomb to go off. Give this first rifle round to the likes of E-Xolos LAZER.
That was such a fantastic move there from W1. That double kill, perfect. That's what got E-Xolos LAZER the round. If they don't get that double kill from W1, good chance Boss are able to make it work. And that is the individual play that LAZER were missing in that last map. They got it from Landon here and there, but they need somebody else to step up in a big moment. They got it. Freshie on a 5-7, MP9 for Fruit Cup, M4 and Famas across the board. The full investment even getting from Boss. They want to isolate that one round from LAZER, and getting a couple of AKs here would bolster the CT round here. Up on top of Hut, Slight's able to strike for one. Cryptic spams, and actually the kill from Darty comes through to drop the bomb down. Then Cryptic's got another out in mini. And so far, so good for Boss on this sort of scrounged together buy. What a double dink from Cryptic on Tatazine. He's waking up in a big way on the CT side of Nuke. That's a great sign for Boss. And Landon stuck in a 1 versus 5. No bomb, one Molotov, and basically no hope.
Very little hope. At this point, going for damage, hoping to put a blemish on this CT economy, at least with a kill or two. Doesn't really seem possible. Cryptic taking over, as you mentioned. Freshie as well, if he's feeling comfortable, which it looks like he is, really can find tremendous impact towards the ramp and in his locations. He's typically the ramp anchor, but he can move around. He's having a decent showing thus far as well at 5-2. Fruit Cup. Slow start, but plenty of time to make up for it. And Landon looked for some damage, but not being presented any kills or information. He'll just save his rifle. It's going to be a long 30 seconds. Doesn't seem like Boss are keen on hunting him down.
They don't really have the money to go for it, so it's understandable. I would like to see Boss grab AKs out of this round. I would like to see Fruit Cup upgrade, Freshie upgrade, Slight upgrade. There's Darty grabbing one of those AKs. Fruit Cup grabs the M4. That's what we need to see, those kinds of swaps. Get off of the MP9, get off of the FAMAS, get off of the Galil. Although I'd rather have a Galil than a FAMAS, that's just personal preference. I think everyone would agree the AK far superior. Landon will save, the FAMAS and the Galil will survive, and LAZER will buy into this next round with what they can. Armor Tech 9 for W1. Dinoco can get an AK here. Tatazine Galil. Tech 9 for Moth as well. He'll go for P250 utility instead. 2 AKs, a Galil, Tech 9, P250. Not horrible, but not fantastic, and the utility definitely poor, considering the situation. LAZER going back at it again. Boss ready to receive the next onslaught. Tatazine already chunked down low outside. Smoke wall going down. This B has been at least a little bit vulnerable. LAZER will look to exploit it.
He'll try to. Tatazine getting down, but we've seen him in this position before. He got rooted out by Cryptic. Slight rotates ramp while his teammate goes down below. I believe that was Freshie. Yes, it is. He's down on B. Slight is going to be tested very quickly at ramp. There's 2 outside the smoke waiting for it to go away. There's moving in, as is the FAMAS. Slight, though. Slight finds the first. Slight spamming the smoke, finds a second before falling away. He'll get a reload off and maybe even a third. No, the AK finally puts him down. However, the damage is done. Tatazine, as you mentioned, down to 35. A man deficit. Tatazine finished off by Freshie, anchoring this B site from the back of Silo. Landon and Moth have to do it all. They both have AKs. That's something to work with, but in a 2 versus 4, it's a lot to ask. And Freshie's buying so much time for his teammates to rotate in.
Masterful work from Freshie, adding another one to his tally as well. Landon finally takes him down, but the damage has been done. The bomb not recovered, and Fruit Cup opens his account in this round and in this map. Everybody else doing such a good job, though. Fruit Cup hasn't really had to do anything. And the Laser back to the drawing board with nothing but Glocks and maybe a P250 or two coming through on the buy. Boss are kicking it into high gear on the CT side early. Everyone shining. Freshie, Cryptic, Slight, Darty. The only one we haven't really seen is Fruit Cup, and he hasn't had to do anything, which is a good thing for Boss.
It's good when you can keep your star player, potential star, in your back pocket for a rainy day. Slight has his op out as well. We really didn't mention it in the pre-game, but the op loves this map. It's a playground for it. We'll see who gets the better of it. Landon, I think, looked like the better overall op in that first map. He was just more consistent. He took over a couple more rounds than Slight, but Slight was no slouch in the first one either. Cryptic starts things off right. Slight, I think he was by a Glock at range, and he's beheaded by Denoco up top Marshmallow, so the op is taken out of the round early. Cryptic trying to shore up the defense, looks for one, the spray's belabored, but it gets the headshot. Freshie tapping at range, finds a second. Darty drops W1 lurking in lobby. And what looked to be a potentially scary round for Boss is quickly turned into their favor. Tatazin, the last, desperately trying to bait a player into his crosshair, will not be given an even 1 versus 1. He's going to have to try and find a fight as best he can. Fruit Cup, though, should have him dead to rights on this angle. There it is. The spray comes through. 5-1 for Boss, and again, no bomb plant for E-Xolos LAZER to help their economy.
Yeah, the bomb plant's not exactly common here for Laser. Landon will get the op out, or won't get the op out, as he will end up selling the big green and going for an AK from the looks of things. That's an interesting call. Maybe he'll pull out the SG. No, AK, it'll stay. Electing not to fight Slight with fire. Full utility, good amount of money built up here for Boss as well, except for Slight. Everybody else is in a decent spot, particularly Darty and Fruit Cup. Laser tossing a little bit of utility in towards A. Slight pushing into lobby, has a little bit of backup from Fruit Cup too. A very aggressive posture from Boss on the CT side. Fruit Cup gets one, but Slight again a little bit slow on the draw. Cannot get the kill on to the peeking Tatazin. And so, despite the opening kill from Fruit Cup, we find ourselves at a 4 versus 4. And Laser still waffling about. Slow and stable. Methodical. Not indecisive, but they definitely do take their sweet time.
They do. It's going to be an A end. You can pretty much tell because the utility just dropped on the roof ready for the player to throw the execute. So they have a plan in mind. Again, they just like waffling. They're like trying to control the pace of the game. The issue is they're not really showing any presence, and that means Boss are just going to rest on their laurels. Boss not getting antsy, which is a big thing for them. E-Xolos LAZER. What does the play? Looks like Landon's going to throw a fake, and they're going to walk in the outside yard, hoping to slip the gap. 40 seconds left, though. They have to make their move. Here it comes. Down towards Secret they go. Bomb in tow. Will Boss expect this B site take? That is the question.
Doesn't look like it. Freshie's not moving from ramp, and now they're going to know what's happening. Freshie will make his way down eventually. But he's the only one here to even offer up some sort of resistance. He'll spot out one. Molotov and smoked away. Second smoke will extinguish the Molotov, but that'll buy time for the Boss rotates at least. Landon waiting in towards lobby. Does take down one on the lurk. That's Fruit Cup, who's been a bit unlucky in this one. But still a technically viable retake for Boss, although dealing with Landon early would give them a lot more confidence. They don't have to go for this either, and so they won't. They'll concede the send to Laser. But that's what happens when you lose that extra man. When it goes to a 4 versus 4, the CT side defense gets thinned out significantly, and you have to make a sacrifice somewhere. And they'll lose Freshie as well in the interim, which is not going to be great for Boss's economy. Now they're going to have to heavily reinvest. Doesn't matter if the op gets dropped on the T side either. I don't think they'll be able to get it back. At least, yeah, well, W1 got it. And Darty went down to the bomb. So actually only one survives for Boss out of 3 attempting. Far worse than what they would have liked. At least Slight gets the op back, but that's something that they'll need is Slight landing those op shots. You cannot be losing to the rifle peak if you're an opper.
The timing hasn't really been in his favor. He lost that fight. 1 deke from top Marshmallow the round before last. In the prior round, he pushed into door and held an angle for like 20 seconds, and as soon as he started moving, he got swung. It was very unlucky on the timing. But that's just the nature of playing a very risky and aggressive posturing. Slight again back toward Jard. He's playing credit card once more. Landon is a rival now. an op in hand. Again, slow for E-Xolos LAZER. Tatazine showing presence outside yard, trying to get spots and information. To be careful, he'll run into the scope of Slight. Timing. Ooh. Like it's just back and below. Behind of Mini. Slight has no information about Tatazine being pushed so far forward.
Utility being tossed in towards A. It's all part of the ruse. The bomb moving ramp. And Slight will not make another bit of damage again, losing the initial fight. Sending Boss down a man this time. They do have players to receive, but Fruit Cup loses the fight to Tatazine through smoke. And Cryptic has to step up big time, but he's only good for one. Freshie, a try! But a try that fails after one kill, and Darty goes back for more. Cannot even get one. And so Boss's B defense being exploited and overwhelmed. Again, losing that opening fight is something that is costing them significantly, opening up that space for Laser to exploit. And the money shattered for Boss as well. Fruit Cup went all in, but he's going to have to save Deagle and armor. MP9 and armor for Darty. And honestly, at this point, it's timeout time for Boss going into round number 10.
Yeah, these things have been coming up flat. The op hasn't been hitting his shots. It's getting worrisome at this stage. Looks like a lobby crunch might be on the cards. I like the change of pace for Boss. They're going to walk through their own smoke. They're going to disrespect their own virtual wall. And I love this setup. W1 only good for one. Landed on the op, gets a trade. But the player in hut does him in. It trades back and forth. Moth finds one. Danoko finds a second. Darty, though, has the op in hand. Good for one. That nade doesn't quite do him in. He's still stomping about. 1v2, though, might be too much to ask, especially with this flank coming through from Tatazine. Darty's gonna get caught with his knife out. There he goes. Expensive round for E-Xolos LAZER, but a round one nonetheless. They're one away from tying things up in the late stages of this first half.
Yeah, I want to see that timeout from Boss here. I really want to see that timeout. Because they need to make adjustments to what's going on. Especially on that B defense. And they're not going to do it. They're going to go in. Also, Nate, something that you and I harp on constantly, there was a distinct lack of an item on the Boss side. Two players could have purchased that. That is the $400 Diffuse Kit, for those of you wondering in the audience. The kit, especially given the fact that Boss have had to retake, at least attempt to retake several times lately, would be a nice piece to have, but instead, it's going to be guns, a little bit of utility, and once again, Slight down first. And that's a consistent piece that needs to be figured out. He looked much more comfortable on the CT side of Ancient than he does here on a much more friendly op map of Nuke.
He did. Utility for Boss is very much lacking as well. Smoke, not smoke, a Molotov, a nade, and a flash is all that remains. Cryptic, an off angle on A. It looks like he's alone as well. Luckily, this is a bit of a fake towards A. No one's really coming out as of yet. Tatazine is throwing his body towards it, but the play's actually towards ramp instead, and Boss have read this right. Fruit Cup and Freshie are here. Two thus far. They lose one. He's sticking around on the box, finds a second, pulls out the pistol. He's going to fight Darty. In the meanwhile, swings out, finds another, leaving just Landon. 1v3. His op has been menacing, but Freshie does not miss on the ramp. Those are his stomping grounds. He'll cement the round with a 3K. Boss at least a tied ball game into the second half, but ideally a bit more in these final pair of rounds.
That's a great read to counter the B ramp play too. And that's the kind of read I was hoping Boss would make, either with a timeout or not. I was hoping for the timeout just to make sure it was cemented, but it's a great adjustment from the Boss boys. Wonder if they're talking about that in Death Chat or whatnot, but that is the adjustment they needed to make. They got help from two. Great delay from Freshie again. He's been fantastic anchoring out towards B on the back of Silo or over on ramp there. Fantastic individual work. And that's the kind of play you need to get you back in the game, too. That's a momentum swinger. One guy just shuts them all down. And now we see Laser beginning a march outside. The classic smoke walls going through. Flash will go high. Cryptic will watch for the mini run. The op shots of Slight are not going to find anything through smoke. And so, now out towards ramp. Slight will win his duel. That's a good start. A very good start for Boss here in round 11.
So this Fruit Cup needs to be careful, though. Down vents, 4/5, or the remaining 4, I should say, of E-Xolos LAZER are slinking forward off contact. The op of Landon's holding the very angle he's sat upon. And he's actually flanked in by Tatazine jumping in the vent. Freshie now up top of B has a lot to do. Here's him stomping out, but his angle again is neglected. He finds one. Landon and Mothzera, though, immediate trades in response to secure an advantage. Darty and Cryptic both coming in from secret side. Darty takes down Landon at long last, ending the ops reign of terror, but it's only to even things back up. 2 versus 2. Mothzera taking up the stead of Freshie on the scaffolding. Cryptic spots the player in the off angle on the bomb plant itself. Cryptic toying with Keep, not outright committing, swings out and misses the spray, and Darty Herd is caught immediately thereafter by the second. E-Xolos LAZER punish the CT side and send their economy into a dour state. Boss are going to scrap together whatever they can to try and build a lead into the second half.
It's going to be a scrappy round, but we've seen Boss find success with buys like this. Same for LAZER on the first best of 1 of the night. MP9's on 4, 5-7 on 1, no kit, and Boss don't really want to bother with that. This is a round buy that is designed to win by elimination, and by elimination alone. MP9's up close, running down your throat and just destroying you up close and personal, not giving you a chance to breathe. That is the kind of buy that Boss have right now. The double up towards tunnels 2, 5-7 actually yields the opener. That's a Galil in the hands of Freshie, as he will continue to ambulate on forward. Tatazine waits and will win that first fight. Will he expect Cryptic around the corner? He does, but he cannot win the fight. That's an AK now for Boss to utilize, and a man advantage too, as E-Xolos LAZER will work their way around the outer yard. Slight up into heaven, taking a different angle on approach, as the T's continue their trepidatious traipsing upon the outside. All 3 going in towards hell. Don't believe they'll be spotted. But that's not the point. Slight's just playing for the wrap towards heaven. There's a player down on B. That's Cryptic. Lobby control as well in Fruit Cup. All the information favoring Boss. All Cryptic needs to do is get 1 in delay, and it should be a 7th for Boss. Landon, Moth, and Dinoco have to come up huge individually. The advantage is to Boss right now, particularly with that flank, that information from Fruit Cup, and as the utility reigns in B, that's going to be a signal to rotate down. LAZER, this time, do not fake. They go for the commitment. And I like how Cryptic bides his time there. There's a smoke in front of the door. He knows that. Landon gets caught in the meantime up on ramp. This is going to free up the push through. A good Molotov to clear out. Oh, that actually did not bounce right. Bounced off the ledge and into their path. But Cryptic's still here. No kit. So keep that in mind as the retake comes on through. But Boss can hurry this one up with the MP9s in hand. Do they deal with Dinoco? Not quite. What a second shot from Dinoco. Looking for another time now. Fleeting running out for Boss. They have to go. They have to find these kills. It's punted in the open. Dinoco 1 versus 1 wins it with 4. Hero play from him as we'll take a 6-6 tie into the halftime break.
E-Xolos LAZER and Boss neck and neck at the end of the first half. 6 a pop as Boss head to the T side of Nuke. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring the action, and E-Xolos LAZER now on their favorite side of this map. Kit smoke for Landon, 4 sets of Kevlar, otherwise Boss full Kevlar on this T side. Slow play from the T side as they hope for some aggression from the defense.
No aggression from the defense as of now. Laser are holding the line, and so are Boss. It's a little World War I out here right now, Nate. Neither one ready to make a move. Both teams in their trenches. No tanks to break through. No artillery either, at least there's that bonus. Boss are content to burn down this clock. Finally starting to make a little bit of a move towards ramp. But overall, now they finally start to pop in towards W1. He'll have a little bit of help from J-Hall as well. Landon forced away. And Boss are just going to stream down towards B. W1 needs a headshot, and he does get one before traded out. The bomb will not go down yet either, as Moth will take down the lurk of Freshie. Dinoco at single door. We'll open it up and see that the site is empty, but it's a safe plant instead from Darty, planning for double doors. Rotation's coming through, but it's all down to Darty and Fruit Cup as Slight has gone down. In the meantime, 3 players to double door, 1 at single, and the single flank is going to be huge if they can get the kills from it. Darty 1v3, runs out of ammunition, locked into a corner, needs to fight his way out. 1, tap, 2, not going to happen. And E-Xolos LAZER critical pistol round victory, but they did surrender the bomb plant. And this is where things can get a little messy for the CT side. 3 kills plus plant is a Galil for Darty. Actually can go for an AK, just not have any utility. Galils will not be plentiful for the rest of the team, but you can have, say, Fruit Cup, since he's not had the biggest performance, go for a Galil, drop that over to, say, Freshie or Cryptic, and let them run. Darty is going to go the AK route. Freshie and Cryptic on the MAC-10s. Slight will do something. Tech 9 utility. And this is a round that could still be troublesome for Laser to defend against, despite their MP9s and M4s. The pistols, the MAC-10s, that 1 AK in the hands of Darty. Something to be a little bit afraid of if you are on the CT side.
Yep. Don't let your foot off the gas. E-Xolos LAZER, keep things tight, play it by the book, rebuke this force buy. Get into drive, because if you lose this, it's going to be a very awkward set of force buys going forward until one team finally stabilizes, and in that case, it almost always favors the T's. Walk outside from Boss. 3 going down circuit, but 1 crossing all the way through garage. That is Cryptic. Freshie again on that lobby lurk. Probably going to do that for a majority of the half. Cryptic is going to be the first to activate. He's going to try to find a kill, an opening, and then from there, his team will make their decision. Cryptic, 1 spotted. Gosh. This is a guaranteed kill.
Does he go for more? No.
Team distracted. Lots of damage to both parties, and he's caught from the back lines. There we go. Boss activating off that opening pick. Perfectly done. Fruit Cup, another before falling. Dinoco, a double. Still on the back foot, or E-Xolos LAZER. Freshie finally activating on this flank, and he has the timing as well. He spots Dinoco. Should end his reign on this round. Yep, there's the kill. The last alive is Ramp. Should be anticipated at this point by Boss. And Moth isn't even going to attempt it. He's already doubling back. 7-7. Boss very quickly tie things up. I have a feeling, Boggs, that we're entering a force buy situation.
Will we get the force buy counter from E-Xolos LAZER? I happen to agree with you. I think we will. We'll see if it starts the trend, though. If it begins something from which you cannot return. Moth will save. Cryptic will survive as well, which is pretty big, given his lack of health. He had to go all the way into spawn. That's something about the new damage cylinder on Nuke. It's just very difficult to escape from. And LAZER are going to invest back into this one. Dinoco, MP9 and armor. He's had himself a nice resurgence in the last few rounds. W1 had that 1 good round from B. And aside from that, it's been incredibly quiet. He'll go for a P250 in armor. MP9 for Tatazine, Landon Deagle. Moth of that saved M4, but it's a pretty scrappy buy. Boss made it work. We'll see if Laser can as well. Squeaky door blown asunder. And Boss will peek through, but not go for the over-aggression. And a little bit of ramp play here from Laser with Tatazine and W1 playing in conjunction just outside of Trophy. But Boss are ready for pushes. And they should be gifted the opportunity. There's a good flash, but Fruit Cup's able to somehow stay alive out of that, and Landon's not able to get anything done. W1 does get one, but traded out distinctly. Darty doubles it down. Moth is traded out as well, so the M4 on the ground. They know where Landon is too. And Freshy's watching for that gun to be recovered. Great read from him. And Boss will take the lead back.
They stabilize with 2 in a row. They should get a third now as well off the back of that victory, having rebuked the force buy. That'll be 9-7. Still a significant amount of rounds required, though, to close this one out. As we talked about in the pre-show, E-Xolos LAZER are favored on their CT side of this map. 58.7% win rating. Boss across the board, disappointing results, but again, because of the caliber of opponents they were facing. Straight USPs for E-Xolos LAZER. It looks like a lobby crunch is on the cards. Are Boss ready for it this time around? No! It's W1 and Tatazine to get to. Fruit Cup trying to stem the bleeding finds one. Slight combining with Cryptic on the Mac-10s find another. But these rifles will not be recovered. Pistols can still find damage. They're quickly rotating, doubling back, and now going into A. Dink onto Slight. His nade finishes off one. He needs to be careful not to fall. Tatazine is hungry. He's looking for a rifle and some information. Speaking in, he won't find it. Cryptic from heaven as well. Finds Landon. A chaotic round, but a round that's still relatively convincing by most metrics. That third AK not recovered for Cryptic is a bit of a miss. But Boss, up 9-7.
I don't think Boss were ready for another push lobby right after the other one failed with superior weaponry. So they got caught off guard a little bit. But overall, Boss still pretty stable. Slight will get the op out early on the T side. That's an interesting call. He's had decent success with the rifles rather than the big green. Laser, though, going for full M4s themselves. No defuse kit, and Tatazine removed by Slight. That's a good start on the T side of the op. He had a bit of a difficult one on the Ancient T half, but if he can get things going early on Nuke T side, be very good for Boss. Deep smoke wall cross goes through. And over top of red box, Slight's going to creep on up. He's going to spot out Landon, and that's going to be another kill for the op. And he'll spot a third. Dinoco will take him down and will not be traded as Boss creep forward behind the cover of darkness. This nade on the smoke a bit too late. And there's a lurk in lobby as well in the form of Freshy. Laser down a man. That Molotov, and now the footsteps, the information they have to work with. Nobody here on the B side proper, but Dinoco quick on the flank, actually. Will he be expected? That's a big question. If he's not watched for, he's going to strike. W1 actually doubles up as well from ramp. Fruit Cup trades, but Dinoco's already here. He's yet to make his presence known. Freshy's still lurking. Now Dinoco makes his play, and Fruit Cup is stuck, but he's able to escape through a single door, goes back in, and Dinoco catches him, leaving Freshy. 1 versus 2 for young Freshward. Pull this one back. Bomb on the ground. 27 seconds to go. Has utility, but that's not really going to come down to it. It's going to come down to the fights. Moth is very low. 2 shots to the chest. Maybe 1 to the stomach if Freshy's lucky.
15 seconds. No windows popped. Just have to do it the hard way.
He's got to go fast.
Yep, and they're just playing 2 disparate angles. At this point, there's no way Freshy can get it. Spots the player crossing them. Now it's a big opportunity. Does he expect the player down below? He doesn't clear it. He goes towards ramp instead. Does he double back in time? He drops down. Freshy gets the read. Freshy gets the kill. 2 seconds left, and he steals it away for his team. The momentum remains with Boss, and E-Xolos LAZER's economy is sent again back to a difficult spot.
What a play by Freshy. Has 10 seconds really to work with and gets a gift onto Dinoco, who gives him the opportunity to even go for that clutch. Has 2 seconds, drops into Cubby, sprays down the low HP remaining player and Moth. And Freshy will give himself his 20th kill of the game. It's not been a quiet 20 either. Freshy's had a lot of moments. And as you mentioned, Laser's economy in the dumpster once again. And Slight in a bit of a predicament here. Plays a little bit of anti-flash. Now he'll dodge the utility. Doesn't get clear. That's a massive oversight. And Nozer's the second player here as well. Dinoko's caught a couple, and Tatazine another. Cryptic now the last alive as W1 takes out Slight in lobby, leaving Cryptic the in-game leader in the 1 versus 2 this time. Goes for the AK. I don't think his drop got hurt either because the fire covered the sound. They're both low as well. This is a massive opportunity for Cryptic, and I almost would have said stick with the Mac 10 knowing the health. He doesn't, of course, know that W1 is 18 HP and Tadoko's 38. But this is still a winnable 1 versus 2 for Cryptic. So low on health here. He just needs to hit the shots and quickly. He's got time.
Oh. Timing on the swing for W1, though, too good. Will not miss that opportunity. Yep, Cryptic had an opportunity, a big one, for him to pull off a 1v2, but it's a little bit too difficult a proposition. Tatazine, a big double. His team doesn't let that fall by the wayside. They seize the day there. Landon has an op in hand. There's AKs, 2 being recovered for W1 and Dinoco. M4's a very solid buy for E-Xolos LAZER off the back of a half buy / eco victory. Boss still have gas, or money in the tank, I should say, but invested most, if not all of it now. They lose this round, they will be the team saving. Slight has his op. He's looking for an opening up towards heaven on A.
And now he takes his talents out towards ramp. The op looking to initiate the openings. Has yet to really find it. Will he be gifted the pick on ramp? W1 hugging the wall. And now Slight's no longer watching for it. There is a J-Hall player. That smoke's going to clue him in. They're actually going to go through it. Wait for the flash, but W1 got the angle. 1 plus massive damage. Fruit Cup trades out Landon, but W1 right there for the refrag. 2 for him. He's come alive in the second half massively. Tatazine drops Cryptic, leaving just Freshy and Slight now in the 2 versus 4. Boss beginning to crumble here in the later stages of this game. Dodoko a Mustang. Moth should have both of these players dead to rights as he drops off Tetris. Freshy dinked and denied. Slight 1 versus 4. Caught from Dinoco. And so, Lazer 1 round away from tying this up. And Boss, no money to really invest into this round. Fruit Cup can drop a couple of pistols. And that's about it from the tees.
It should be a 10th and a tied ball game at this stage. Unless something preposterous happens. Boss sticking with majority Glocks. There we go, some investments coming through. It's actually going to be a force buy. It's not going to be a save. They're going in for it. Fruit Cup Hero Rifle. They're putting some stake, some skin in the game. Relying on who should be the star player. Who's had a slow start. 3 Tech 9s and a P250 to round out the investment. And a walk outside. The nade on the smoke doesn't go deep enough. So their cross is, as of this moment, unknown and only suspected.
Smoke allows the cross. Minimal damage taken, although Fruit Cup does get caught in the end. Boss are training down. Freshy's lurk, finding nothing just yet. Dinoco, that's a nice swift headshot onto Darty as the bomb tries to get its way towards B. But Freshy's lurk is removed, and so it's all up to Cryptic now. Minimal damage dealt as well. 1 blindside from Cryptic. If he gets a second kill, thins out that CT economy a little bit more, be nice, but he only gets the 1. And so we're tied at 10 here, late in the game on Nuke. T side, of course, does have the economic advantage, but for Boss, they don't have the money into this round. They are still broke, and Lazer should be gifted the lead here into the very late stages of the second best of 1 of the night. A timeout used by Lazer as well. Boss have not called 1, Lazer have called now 2 across 2 maps. One thing to note too, Dinoco has been huge in clawing Lazer back in, but W1's performance on the CT side has also been immense.
Yeah, the kills are beginning to close in for the whole squad on E-Xolos LAZER. Everybody's having their moments. Landon's kind of slowed down on the CT side, if I'm not mistaken. As you mentioned, Dinoco has been a multi-kill marvel, finding a lot of rounds they shouldn't have. He started off that pistol round victory, for example. Everybody having their moments. Boss going for a half buy. Using that timeout, I'm sure, very well as well. 3 Tech 9s, a Deagle, and a P250. A little bit of utility sprinkled in for the cross. I'm sure 3 smokes there. A nade for Freshie for good luck. Thrown towards the squeaky door. Boss again going for this outside cross. Probably going to throw the same fast smokes they did before. Question is, how are they going to adjust their approach in round 21?
Got Dazine damage +1, but he is traded back by Cryptic. Now a gun rests in the hands of the in-game leader for Boss. Long-range Tech 9 duel by Slight does a little bit of chip, but not much more. Freshie is taken down by Moth, and Fruit Cup follows suit, falling to Denoco. Landon in a bit of a precarious position, but W1 will help out. Slight trades it. Caught from behind by Denoco, though. And so, Laser will grab a lead. 11-10 now, 2 away from punching their ticket and splitting best of ones with Boss. Who will buy up here? AKs across the board. No op for Slight. But that, never mind. Glass Cannon T-side op?
Put a lot of stake in this op.
Move.
I don't think Slight's look bad on the rifle either.
I know. That's what I was about to say. It's like, not like having Slight on the rifle is a bad thing. It gives them more fluidity, too.
Yeah, more versatility. We'll have to see how this pans out. Again, 4 outside, 1 in lobby. Do I have to guess who it is? It's probably Freshie. Yes, it is. The lurk is going to lurk. Slight boost up on the second box, the back box over outside yard, but no one spotted. E-Xolos LAZER making an adjustment in this round, sending 1 down secret and Landon and putting 1 in the back of garage to hold the cross mini. I like this change. I'm not sure Boss are going to respect it. It's all on Cryptic and how he chooses to clear this angle. He's not even going to clear it, or is he? There's the swing, but doesn't get the kill. Darty is good on the trade. Darty doubles down, actually, dropping Moth as well towards Mini. The Denoco has to come in big from heaven as Fruit Cup drops W1. It's a 2v4 for this final pair. Denoco probing, trying to find something. Landon coming up the vents will also try to find something. And they'll both find one a pop. The op chimes in. Denoco rotating around heaven finds another. Denoco finds them both for 3 in the round. And what looked like it might be a boss round finally back in their favor is ripped away from them instead. 12-10 for E-Xolos LAZER. Map point in Boss's economy in a bad way.
It is a bit of it's not exactly as bad as it could be. It's not 1,400 or 1,900 across the board, but it is not good at all for Boss. Another timeout used by Laser, too. They want to make sure they secure this one and get this across the line smooth. Fruit Cup to Galil and utility. Boss actually being able to use this as a timeout of their own as well. AK for Darty. Galil for Cryptic, Mac 10 for Freshie. Another timeout used by Laser. They're going to expend all 3 here in these last few rounds. Again, this does give Boss the opportunity to use this as a long-form timeout. It's going to slow momentum for Laser as well. I almost would like to see Freshie vent drop that. He's got the spawn too. Mac 10 down vents early. So some chaos.
Something to change the pace, yeah. That inside man down below. There's a lot of adjustments we can see. They put a lot of credence on the outside yard cross, and even they just throw the smokes and don't even commit to it. So look elsewhere. Ramp's been neglected. An A-site play's not even been considered, I don't think. Yard is a critical part of this map, but it doesn't have to be your only target. Except things a little bit too readable and easy for the CT side.
Well, the smoke's down, but Freshie is nowhere near the vent drop. He's on top of lobby, so that's not going to be the play. Moth will eat a nade. Slight will dodge the spray and look to throw utility. Now think better of it. Toss the bomb onto the ground, making a lot of noise. And now begin to toss his utility in. Spraying away, not finding anything. W1 contacted out towards ramp. Fruit Cup trades him out. Landon's op, of course, though, good for 1. His op is pretty much always good for 1. Through the smoke, he'll find nothing, but Denoco will eliminate another. Only 2 players left standing for Boss now. Freshie and Cryptic, the 2 highest statistical players on this map. They have Galil's, no utility. And minimal hope at this point in the game. Denoco, smoke fade coming up. He'll drop down the vents silently, play on the ladder. Moth up top as well. Good little 1-2 punch between these 2 players. very difficult to remove for Boss as time begins to dwindle. Lots of damage done, but Anoko down the vents, they'll try. But Moth up top will make it much more difficult. Flash blinds Freshie, and he's getting tagged down low. I think he got taken down by the Op. And Tatazine creeping in towards Mini will shut it down as Laser and Boss will split the best of ones. One apiece, and Nuke goes the way of Laser with a very solid CT side where everyone picked up and raised the whole team.
Yes, it was a team effort, a coordinated play from E-Xolos LAZER. They brought back rounds that really didn't look salvageable. They made things look good. They made things work. And across the board, E-Xolos LAZER looked the better team on this map. Again, feels like